Alcohol. Okay, there's no doubt that there are going to be social events. There's going to be times when you're going to want to fit in alcohol, whether that be because it's coming to the end of the year, warmer seasons, or you use it as your winding down thing for the end of the week, which I usually say try to find a different way to wind down. But if it's something that you enjoy doing, it's not something I'm going to say, okay, stop doing that one activity that you live for and love. Like, if it's one glass, it's not going to be detrimental. If it's two glasses, it's not going to be detrimental. But if you're downing a bottle every week, even worse, every day, or drinking every day, then that's a completely different story. But if it's like once a week thing, once every few weeks things that you have one glass, or there's an event ever so rarely that you want to go out and drink, then I'm going to give you like a plan of attack and something to keep in mind for when you do. So firstly, alcohol is a toxin. So when you consume alcohol, your body's going to want to excrete the alcohol first and foremost. So while it's doing that, it's going to halt the metabolism of proteins, fats, and carbs. Thus, it's going to stop the metabolism of, as in the breaking down and the use of carbs and fats, and it's going to stop the metabolism of protein in terms of using it as building blocks and assimilating it to where it needs to be. So pretty much just keep in mind that your body's main focus is to get the alcohol out of your body as quickly as possible. So usually when it comes to this, so what I like to say is, when you're planning to go out at night or whenever you're planning to drink, preemptively plan how many drinks you will have prior to that event and stick to it. This is a decision on your part, so you should be able to, like, don't deprive yourself and say, oh, I'm going to abstain from all alcohol, and then you end up just doing the complete opposite and rebelling against what you said. Give yourself a realistic amount and stick to it. Have the willpower to see it through, because, like, moderation is key. Planning ahead is key. And staying ahead and thinking ahead is the best way to see success there. Now, going back on what I said, where your body preferentially will start trying to eliminate the alcohol out of your body and stop the metabolism of the other nutrients, carbs, proteins, and fats. Alcohol is an acetate. Like, it's when alcohol is introduced into your system, there's a tendency to store your foods and fuel as fat. So I usually recommend cutting back on your fat intake for that day, and saying, that's why I usually say just like sub out the same calories of alcohol as there is for fats, and count your alcohol as about 7 calories per gram per milligram, same thing. Just substitute that for the amount of fats that you're having. If your fats are already significantly low, you can take some from carbs as well, but keep in mind that alcohol has that 7 calories per gram, so the 7 calories weighing up against the 4 calories per gram of carbs, you're going to be taking away almost double the carbs to make room for the alcohol. So that's probably one of the most important things that I can say touching on alcohol. And above all, the reason why I say to minimize making this switch, minimize just having alcohol as much as possible, is not only because of the metabolic impact of it, but it negatively impacts your sleep so much. It prohibits you from getting into that deep REM sleep. So yes, it might knock you out, but it just because you're unconscious does not mean you're actually getting quality sleep, because it fucks with your brain waves, like your alpha and delta waves. Like you're not going to get that REM sleep that you need, which is where all the memory consolidation and all that stuff happens towards the end of your sleep. So keep that in mind. And you also will find that the deep sleep will minimize too. So the two most important aspects of your sleep, the deep sleep and the REM sleep, you're just going to be pretty much unconscious. And you know the importance of sleep. So I'm just the main thing to take away from this is to understand your physique and your performance goals, and to take with it what you will and how you're going to substitute your food in and around that. And do not go to parties, do not go to events, do not start drinking on an empty stomach, because not only will it hit you harder and probably make you want to buy the next pie or pizza, because you feel that intoxicated people eat dumb shit, and a lot of the time it's not the alcohol that throws them off, it's the fact that they stopped at Macca's and bought a family meal for themselves on the way home. So keep that in mind. Know where your goals stand in terms of physique and performance goals. If it's a one-off, don't be so hard on yourself. But if you're coming up to like party season and it's going to be every now and then on the weekends, then it's a really good idea to be a lot more contingent with your plans and to plan ahead and to not let it get away from you.